These is Louis Timbs, it look like one of them, it ain't, dog. The valet happy to drive my car, you better not scratch my paint. Creep Ted Bundy, the way we doing these niggas, he look like a saint. We 300,000 in boobies, she whisper my ear, she as wet as the same. Creep is breaking the bank, Creep is breaking the.
What's up, everybody? It's been a minute for me to post this one because it TennoCon kind of happened in the midst of a lot of stuff going on. So I wanted to definitely make an updated video of everything that was covered on TennoCon's 2026 dev stream. This was probably one of the most exciting dev streams out of all of their TennoCons because of the what it means for their game, but we'll get into that. But at this point now, we can't just talk about Warframe. We have to talk about Soulframe and Warframe together. But if you haven't already, I think the free Prime Warframe this year was Mesa. Then we have Soulframe. It looks like they're gonna be releasing a new update called Warcry. It was War something, but it looks like it's the origin story of the main character, especially with the bond and how the mom of the main character connects with the majority of the story. But it definitely looked like a very AAA top tier Elden Ring game. Like I don't know where they're getting these assets from, but DE is going crazy with their game design. But the cool thing is that, you know, since they are from Warframe, you can see a lot of influence from their game and Soulframe, like the Orican character design. There's a Drifter or the Deviri design for some of the architecture in the game. And then it's weird how they talk about the existence of blue blood. So I don't know if I have another video that goes deeper into what I'm talking about, otherwise we will be here forever. But I did pick up on a lot of cool information that could mean a lot for Warframe together. But we have this guy that looks kind of like the Albert and Trotty of Soulframe that finds us when we're a baby. The design is really interesting, and somehow around this update there's something about the rain that makes people go crazy. You know, we see a new protagonist or an antagonist. The music is crazy, and now I see maybe this is why they had the creator of Death Stranding come to their studio. Maybe they were picking up on some of the game design tidbits, because I can see some of that influencing Soulframe in the latest trailer. Moving forward is like I think you have to revive things. I don't know, something about the blue people or the people with blue blood could revive and return the soul of living things, but it costs your own soul. So I don't know if it's like if you fully deplete it, then you kind of forget who you are and you're like this new person, or you die. But it's something about this, I don't want to say species, but this race of people with blue blood can do something with life, and they're being hunted. But a crazy connection with Warframe, and again, just because these are from the same developers of Warframe, there could be a lot of similarities. So it could be a far-fetched theory, but singing is also key to this universe, it seems. You know how singing kind of broke the mother away from whatever control or struggle she was influence she was under. But you know, just like the Eidolon, singing also helped them recover lost Eidolons or sentient. So it's just an interesting like similarity between the two games. But now that was just all of Soulframe stuff. You know, we get mounts. I think more multiplayer is rolling out, and more weapons are also included into this. But the meat and potatoes, the main part of this video, is the TennoCon 2026 stuff. We're starting off with Dog Days returning. There's a lot of new cool design glyphs that you can unlock for free. Mesa Heirloom is now available, so if you have not had a chance to grab her heirloom skin, now would be the chance to do it, because I don't know what it is, but with the material of the skin, it makes designing Warframes a lot more better, because the colors do what you want them. They look like how you want them to look like. The next Nightwave is going to be a mirror themed, which is exciting. This character is the proto frame of Volt, so I'm excited to see what type of it looks like it's like D&D themed, because there will be a tabletop new area in Halvania that we can go to. It seems like we might get a new specific mission, because there's new Xmas units being introduced with this new Nightwave, so we're just excited to see what the rewards are. There will be a Kim expansion focused around the new Nightwave setup that Amir has in Halvania, and then there will be new online songs updated to the shop, so that's exciting. The next piece of news is the announced fall update called Iceblade of Narin. Maybe that's the name of the new Warframe, but it's going to be a ice type Warframe, since the only ice type that we really have is Frost, with the exception of, you know, Lavos and Chroma, you know, ones that can manipulate other elements. This one will be a female based Warframe, kind of like what do you call it? Yeah, the Frost to Sub-Zero. So this is going to be cool on how they go about this one, this new Warframe. Cold is broken in Warframe because it increases critical damage. So I'm excited to see how. I already know she's going to be broken. Citron Prime is also releasing with this update. She looks amazing. Citron, just like status effects is more useful in Steel Path, Citron's a broken Warframe. So her getting a Prime form is just going to be, she's unstoppable now. You know, Corvex, same thing. Corvex is not getting a Prime, but he's getting a deluxe skin. Corvex is like it has like a gargoyle theme, so it's cool to see how his statues that he placed down, the radiation statues, look like with this new deluxe skin. This is his first skin as well, so yeah, it's cool to see how skins alter the looks of their current moves. And then speaking of deluxe skins, we are getting a Banshee deluxe skin. This Banshee deluxe skin looks very like Japanese inspired, so I'm excited. Banshee kind of already has some clean skin, so her getting more is due to her getting a rework as well. Don't know how they're going to rework her. She was nerfed way long time ago because her fourth was very broken. My friend told me she had the largest ranged move in the game, where she can impact the whole entire map. They dialed down that range for sure. But now, you know, she's been good with weak spot damage increases and the weak point mods, and then you have the armor reduction for her first, and then her sonar, which does weapon jamming. So it's like I'm curious to see how she's going to get a rework. If anything, they're just going to make her stronger, you know. But if you want and look forward to any more videos and clips about these new updates, I'm sure they're going to talk about it in the September and October dev streams, because we for sure are getting 2 updates this year that they got to figure out how to crunch in within the last few months of 2026. But the main big piece of 2026 news is that we are going to Tau. The main big update that TennoCon showcases every year. You know, last year was the Halvania, the 1999, or I forgot. It was what was last year? They showed a lot of stuff last year, but it was like new regions, new updates. But now it's time to leave the origin system. We've been so used to Earth, Venus, you know, the Void, Deimos. It's just a lot of planets that we're used to. The intricate systems like in Deimos, the Albert Labs, the Halvania, like the relays, like, bro, this is just all condensed. The Rojaks, all condensed in the origin system. Cetus, Fortuna, and now the very paradox. Like, that's just all Zeramin ship. Then, bro, I'm gonna keep going. That's just all the origin system, and we are now going to the Tau system. That means let me give you guys the information slowly. First of all, we're getting a new Warframe called Briscoe. He's going to be, I think the voice actor of this one is Matt Merther. The Warframe doesn't talk, but he's like speaking in his mind, so kind of like a Bumblebee effect. But he's like a detective-based Warframe. I'll go over his moves in another video, but I think Rebecca said that, or Megan said that this Warframe was the first Chimera frame. So I think usually Warframes don't talk, and then before then Warframes would go berserk. So this might just be a future evolved form of a Warframe that could eventually talk. But I don't know if it's fully made like of human flesh, because it looks like it's customizable. So this could be maybe the first time we can do, you know, people wanted a Build-A-Frame. I thought that was a horrible idea. But if they came at a Warframe with the aspects of, you know, there's multiple chassis forms that you can unlock for that same Warframe. Like say you build a neuroptic chassis systems and blueprint, but there's 3 different versions of each blueprint, and one blueprint would give you higher range, one blueprint will give you higher strength, one blueprint will give you higher, you know, ability duration, stuff like that. So I can see perks falling into blueprints, into building your Warframe like that, but not so much like, oh, customize, you know, his head, or customize his leg, his arm, mix a chroma head with a Mesa leg, and a, you know, stuff like that. So they have like mix and match abilities. I don't think that's the way to go. You know, the hemless system is already the perfect system for this game, and they should not touch anything else. The best thing they can get to it is this blueprint idea. I think even Grindhard Squad was mentioning this a little bit, but moving forward, Lotus will be a playable person we can control in the next quest. She will not be a character that we can just load into Sanctuary Onslaught and go crazy with, but it is just like how we had Cal and Tension in the past. So it is cool to see Lotus actually put in work, and she has strength. She knows how to summon the void, the man in the wall, on call, or maybe he went to her. So it's going to be cool to see how Ballas and the Lotus ties into the lore, and how Tau was forgotten and what we did and the damage that was caused in the past. But hey, she was tweaking just like how we did with Uriel. So now the Drifter is with us because for I don't know, I think that the Drifter and the Operator are now working together. So this can mean a lot, knowing that the man in the wall really don't mess with the Drifter, because the Drifter has been living in the void forever, and he's been used to how the void is. So the man in the wall's games won't work on this dude. So now this is like a cool new dynamic, like a cool new team up too. You know, we had the Stalker dabbing up with what's his name in the latest update. So it's like, bro, I'm excited to see how these character dynamics are going to work in the future for this game. You know, we get to see Lotus's you know, primal sentient form that we never seen before, which is crazy. So it shows a lot of originality to the lore of Warframe, and a lot of exciting news that we can expect to see in Tau. You know, on top of that, by the end of this year, or maybe right now, I forgot. Yeah, was it right now that we go to the relay? They have delivered a vessel to our relay, because this vessel is going to probably be the means of transportation that we need to get to Tau. And that was hinted at the end of the trailer with Albert connecting the Void Finger to the same vessel statue. So it looks like when they said that the statue will awaken later, I think the names was Arteris and Zora, we can use the statues to like transference, skip, you know, way across or not centuries, but light years to the Tau origin system. In this system they talked about Black Rain, so it's funny how they talked about Rain 2 and Soulframe. There's Bloom Addicts, so it's well, I need to learn more about what the Bloom Addicts are, but it's a funny thing that they talk about flowers, and you know, in the sense that when we sacrifice a Warframe, the vanilla version, it grows a flower in the Hemless system. So there's some correlation there that I'm excited to learn and dig deeper into what that means, but I'll get back with you guys on more when I find out. But Warframe players talked about this, but I made a video predicting how if they were to do they would need to make a new star chart, because a new star chart could offer them so much content for players and give them so much like creativity room. You know, with new mission stuff, you know, we're used to exterminate, defense, interception, mobile defense, like that. Now they can switch it up with like new categories just by being in a new origin system, a new solar system. Things could be different. They can now introduce, you know, 4 more open worlds. It was like they made an open world for each faction, and then once we like completed that faction, it was time for us to move forward to a new star chart. And I knew it was going to be that way because we had the liches. They can still roll out liches for the origin system, but they, you know, having the Tau star system is room for a lot of things, so they can introduce the Murmur lich system in that Tau system. But even having a new star chart can bring possibilities to just introduce just another group of new factions that brings in another wave of new weapons, warframes, cosmetics, the whole package. So it's exciting. Before I get sidetracked, Adis, I fucking knew it. I posted it on the TikTok. Became evil. You know, when he died, I guess the man in the wall got to him and now manipulated what Adis believes that we, you know, the man in the wall told Adis how we stole his light. So Adis has hatred now just because of hearing some false representation of how we really cared about Adis when he did pass away. You know, Adis didn't know we went back to the Orcan Empire on Tau and fucked shit up on the moon as the Uriel Warframe. He doesn't know all of that, but the man in the wall obviously has some, you know, puppet master plans behind pulling these strings. So it's cool to see how this is going to play out. Adis could be even the new Hun Hao of the Tau system. You know, Hun Hao was the big boss sentient of the origin system until he died. Now we have Adis, which could be the new big boss sentient being of the new star chart. And yeah, they're focusing a lot. There's a lot of focus on what deal did the Lotus make, you know, and did she take it, and does this explain what happened during the new war stuff? So it's cool to see more lore, more Warframe lore. That's it. It's cool to see all of this. But that's pretty much all the new information that they gave us during TennoCon 2026. If you guys have any theories, thoughts, and opinions, please put them down in the comment section below, because I would definitely like to pick your guys' brain as well. But there was a lot of, yeah, just by stating a new star chart alone, that's all it could have stated, I would have been happy. And the fact that we're getting all of this even prior to that update is like, how is Warframe not top tier? It is the truly unspoken gem of gaming. So I'm just glad to be a part of the ride. Now, thank you guys. If you are wanting to learn more about Warframe, check out my other videos. And then I'll, you know, for surely try to be more consistent with the uploads. But thank you guys for your patience as well. But like always, you guys be safe, keep up the grind, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.